Hey, what's up, people? In this video, we're going to talk about 10 mistakes that you need to avoid before starting your Shopify store in 2022. All these mistakes that I'm going to talk about, these are the mistakes that I've made before, or when I talk to people, I hear pretty much 90% of people kind of do one of these things. So I'm going to kind of walk you through it and tell you how you can not do them and what you can do instead. So if you're interested, keep watching. Before we get started, every month I give away a consultation call. And basically, we get on a call with me. I myself take the call, and we can talk about your Shopify store, what you're struggling with, and how I can help you with. All you gotta do is make sure you like this video and comment down below what do you want to talk about. If you win the consultation call, then go ahead and follow me on Instagram and then comment consultation call on my last post. And by the end of the week, I'm going to tag you in a story and tell you if you won the consultation call or not. All right, let's get into this video. Number one thing that a lot of people struggle with is spending so much time making their store perfect. Now, I'm not saying not to put effort in your store, making it look good, your logo and all that, but don't take months before you start testing. I see some people really spending like months just coming out with a logo, with a name. You do not want to do that. You want to get that kind of over with quick and get into it. Here's one thing you need to know about dropshipping stores. Since most people gonna be impulse buyers, they're not gonna care so much about how your store looks like. That being said, like I said, don't just put something together and put it out there. Make sure your store looks good, but just don't spend crazy amount of time on making your store look perfect. The things that are gonna matter basically in finding a winning product is your product and your creative. I would spend more time in finding the right product and making a good creative for it rather than focusing so much on how my store looks like. Number two is getting attached to a product. I just had a call with someone who told me she spent about $3,000 trying to make a one product store work, and she wasn't getting any sales or any results. And this is the example of getting attached to a product, trying to make it work. Now, that being said, I have a rule. You pick a product, you have 4 to 6 creatives for it, you test them all, and if it doesn't work at that point, you move on. Do not get attached to a product. Don't try to spend so much money days after days. I know you watch all these YouTube videos that tell you to test the product for days, but do not do that. Please do not go and spend $2,000 trying to make one product work. Move on after, $50, $100, move on to the next product if you've already tested the product with multiple creatives. Number 3 is stealing other people's creatives. This is another one. I get a lot of DMs, people telling me they tested 100 products, 200 products, and they do not find a winning product. The problem with that is that they try to go after other people's winners and they steal their exact creative and they run it under Facebook ads or TikTok ads. The problem with that is that, first of all, Facebook and TikTok, they both know that you're stealing someone else's videos. Most likely, they're not going to prioritize you or give you a good audience, good group of audience to send to your ads. So that's already a problem. You would want to come, if you're using content on the internet, try to edit them. Put little of something together. Do not use other people's faces that you don't, have permission from on your ads. If your ads get flagged, it basically penalizes your ad accounts without really telling you. Once you have a lot of rejected ads or flagged ads, at that point, literally, I would move on to a new ad account because most likely you're not getting good audience for that. Just make your own creatives. There's a bunch of places that you can use. You can, if you want to go really, really cheap, number one is you can order from Amazon and make your own videos. Most of the things that you can dropship, you can find on Amazon Prime and make your own creatives. That's the best way to go about it. Or services like ecomedits.com, or send it to influencers and make the videos. So these are the alternatives that you can go about. But if you really, really are lazy and you don't want to make your own video, find content, but then edit it together and then test it. Number 5 is testing on an ad account that you have a lot of rejected ads inside. You might get lucky and find a winning product on something that consistently getting rejected. This is what happens. I've talked to a rep and they told me once a lot of ads get rejected, TikTok or Facebook, they assume that you don't have good quality product, creative, or your store is not, you have a high bounce rate with your store. So what happens is that they don't send you the good high quality traffic. Most likely, if you've ever had a winning product, you know that probably the second winning product is easier, third winning product is easier. And if you've never had a winning product, you're struggling, your ads consistently getting rejected, the chances are your ad account could be penalized without really knowing. And this happened a couple of times, even with me myself. I was scaling in this ad account, and literally 5 days later, half of my ads got rejected, and then a couple of days later, all my ads died real quick. And the other ad account that I didn't have any rejected ads, the same thing, everything, it lasted for probably 2 months of a winning product that I was running on. So this is just an example to kind of give you an idea. If you're getting a lot of rejected ads and you're still testing on that ad account, I would probably move on to a different ad account, just, to be safe. Number 6 is not reading the reviews before even starting to test the product. This is a really big one. Before you start testing a product, make sure that you read the reviews on that product. Make sure the product is good. I've had this case that one of my students found a winning product, super excited. I already talked to her about, hey, did you read the reviews and all that stuff? But unfortunately, she forgot to mention that she never read the reviews. She starts scaling. She basically sends out all these products to these customers that, the product was not really working, or it was not a good quality product. So she's like getting all these refunds, chargebacks, all these emails with angry customers. Make sure you read the reviews before you even start testing it. I personally actually get my supplier to test the products for me because I have that relationship for years. She orders the product, she tests them for me, and makes sure that the product is working and is good enough for me to test or scale. So that's one thing you could do, or you can order the product yourself if you can't find any reviews, and then make sure the product is good, because the last thing you want is having a winning product. You're all excited about it, you're getting all these sales, but unfortunately the product is not working. So make sure you read your reviews. Number 7 is not pricing your product right. I like to give my products at least $20 margin. And a lot of people I notice that have difficulties with pricing their product. The thing is, we have cost of advertising, we have cost of goods, and we have transaction fees, PayPal fees. And if you're using, third party processor, then it's going to be another fee for that one too. So make sure at least you give it $20 margin. That's kind of my rule. If I'm aiming for, let's say it's anything between $5 to $10 cost per purchase or cost per acquisition, then I want to make sure that I'm having enough margin. I like to aim for 20-25% profit margin, and a lot of fees and transaction fees that comes with it. So make sure at least for dropshipping products that you're selling, I personally selling products under $60, I like to make sure they have $20 margin. So make sure that you're pricing them correctly. Number 8 is using AliExpress to scale your product. Do not use AliExpress when it comes to scaling. I understand if you want to test on AliExpress, that's fine. Just read the reviews on that supplier, make sure they're okay, they're doing fine. But one of the things that I notice is when I talk to my supplier and I send the AliExpress link to her, and I'm like, hey, why is this price lower? They would be like using really, really bad shipping that takes like 3 months to get to the client, right? Even though they said, let's say if it's ePacket or Unexpress or whatever. I personally been using Unexpress or Unexpress, whatever it's called, and I haven't had any issues with it. So that's like something that I usually discuss with my supplier. Hey, what is the best way? What best shipping for this specific products? Certain products need to use specific kind of shipping. Don't use AliExpress. Let's say you're doing 10, 20 orders a day. At that point, find an agent that you usually get a discount to if you buy, a little bit more in advance. And, they help you out with more than just an AliExpress supplier. I've had cases that people sell a lot of products. There's a fake AliExpress link and they never get their products actually sent out to the customers. And of course, there's going to be chargebacks, refunds, and everything. Please do not use AliExpress. If you're doing 10, 20 orders a day, DM me on Instagram. I'll hook you up with a supplier. Number 9 is not doing your taxes right. This is one thing you need to look into based on where you live. So I'm not going to give you any tax advice. I'm just going to tell you my own experience is that I found a winning product really randomly back in 2016. I think it was ninth product that I tested. I found a winning product, right? And at that point, I had no idea about taxes or how to do like self-employment and stuff. I ended up like actually making good amount of money the first 6 months that I found that winning product. And when I was kind of late. Like I waited till like a year, the next year, the tax time, and I go to the tax person and I ended up like paying double taxes for everything just because in my case, I lived in California at the time. It was good to basically, you register your LLC, you file your taxes at S Corp, and then you put yourself as an employee of your business, right? I still do that. And depending on where you are, so I'm not telling you what to do, just talk to an accountant or whatever, and make sure you're doing your taxes right. Because if you don't, you're basically gonna overpay for whatever that you could save, let's say, I don't know, maybe $30,000-$40,000 that you actually now have to pay for taxes. So make sure once you start making profit, let's say $5,000-$6,000 a month or so, start talking to someone, start talking to an accountant, figure it out. You're probably going to be paying your taxes quarterly, so that's something you want to look into. And again, if you live in a different country, probably all the rules are different. Just make sure you talk to an accountant. Number 10 is more about your mindset, yourself, and is being too hard on yourself. Sometimes I talk to people and they're just so anxious about they're doing this, they're doing that, and they're testing so many creatives. And it's a real business. Dropshipping is a real business. And you can't, be too hard on yourself if you're not getting results quickly, because it doesn't happen quickly. Most likely, you're not going to find a winning product the first month of testing product because you're just learning it. This is a whole process of learning, making mistakes. And especially if you're trying to learn it yourself, let's say you're trying to test, you're trying to find products, you're trying to come up with creatives, you still don't know how everything works. So mentally, emotionally, don't be so hard on yourself. It takes time. This is a real business. Just because it's online, it doesn't mean it's a fake business and it's something that you're going to make money tomorrow. No, it's a real business. There's so much testing, trial, and failures and all that stuff. And you have to go through it till you get the results you're looking for. This really prepares you for, mentally make you stronger. If you can get through it, it mentally makes you stronger. So don't be so hard on yourself. If you haven't found a winning product yet, just keep testing. It happens eventually. If you're on it and you're testing, you're learning, eventually it'll happen. I promise. As long as you put the effort, it's gonna happen. All right, guys, that was it for now. Let me know in a comment down below if you like me making these kind of videos. I'm trying to change it up, coming up with new topics. So let me know in the comment down below what kind of stuff do you want me to put out there, And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please make sure to like this video and also subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.